Well, howdy, folks. K-Dog here. Thought I'd come on and do my Christmas haul. Well, there's about 4 titles here, and not going to waste any time because this is take 2 of this massive thing, I guess. I go into some little detail, but the problem was I forgot to turn my microphone on, so you wouldn't hear me. But go ahead, let's roll the intro. Here we go. Well, it's the day after Christmas, or whenever you're watching this video, and this is my haul that I've gotten over the past couple days. One of them I actually get as a gift, but the other 3, a little bit of spending money I got, so I got me some decent titles. But starting off with the gift. And Christmas isn't really done. My dad said he's going to get me some gift cards. Hopefully it's some Walmart gift cards so I can get the Avengers. I keep putting that off, I know. But the first one, second greatest comic book movie of the summer, was The Dark Knight Rises. Yeah, I got this one on Blu-ray. Also got my brother the same thing. And the interesting thing about this, I'd actually had the movie in my possession before I got this. I had purchased, if you recall, during the summer, I had purchased Batman Begins Steelbook on Blu-ray from Best Buy. And it came with a ultraviolet copy in that case as well. And when I cashed it in, not only did I get a copy of Batman Begins, I got this short little special feature. Well, it's kind of lengthy, but wasn't too long. It was a feature about the entire Christopher Nolan The Dark Knight trilogy. And when this came out, that special feature had been deleted. I thought, what in the world's going on? Because I actually wanted to go back and watch that on my Ultraviolet or Flickster account. And it was gone. It was replaced by this. It was replaced by an actual Ultraviolet copy of The Dark Knight Rises. Already streaming. And I thought, I didn't buy the movie. Why is it saying that I have a copy of this? Because, I want to be honest, and say, I didn't purchase this. Well, as I found out that they had replaced that feature with The Dark Knight Rises. And, until, or at least until I got an official physical copy. And sure enough, what happened was I got this, I went to cash in the code that was on here. Yeah, the code that was on here, and up came that special feature again, claiming I had that back in my library. And so, in the meantime, I actually was watching that copy via stream. I was watching on my cell phone, watching it on the internet at work, watching it on the internet here at home. But the bad thing about the ultraviolet is that it's not always in high definition, and so it's basically the DVD version. And what I mean by that is because the Dark Knight Rises Blu-ray is treated in the same way that the Dark Knight was on its Blu-ray release. It's presented in both the 35mm format and the IMAX format. So it goes back and forth between the scenes they shot with the regular 35mm camera with the IMAX camera. So the ratios are completely different. While on the ultraviolet and DVD copies, it's it's the 235 35mm presentation that you would see in the 35mm theater. It stayed the same ratio throughout. So that's another reason why I wanted the Dark Knight Rises physical copy. And if you poke around on my channel, you'll probably see a feature where I talk about digital streaming versus actual disc-based media. And disc-based media, I'm all in favor for. Streaming, I do take part in it. I do, if there's a digital copy, I do have it. I do cash them in. But here's the thing. Even if they are presented in high definition, they are not as good as an actual disc copy. The bit rate is far lower. But anyway, moving on. This next one is a actual upgrade from DVD. And I actually got this one on DVD during the summer because I had yet to see the movie and heard that there was the remake coming out. And based on what I've heard about the remake, I don't think I'll be seeing that. Because I did have my reservations when they announced it back in 2004, 2005, somewhere around there. And then they actually shot it. And however, it didn't get released until this year. And replaced China with North Korea. Well, what am I talking about? The original Red Dawn. Yes, from back in 1984. This is the original MGM title of Red Dawn, starring Patrick Swayze, C. Thomas Howell, Leah Thompson, Harry Dean Stanton, Charlie Sheen, and Jennifer Grey. Yeah. What's wrong with this version? Big deal. They're taking on the Russians in this one. And we've been out of the Cold War for over 20 years. Big deal. What's wrong with this? That's another rant, folks, is film remakes. And sometime I have yet to see a remake of a movie that is better than the original. I have yet to see that. I've seen some good remakes that were probably just as good, but not better. Now, here's the next one. You may recall in my last Blu-ray update, I got The Muppet Christmas Carol. Well, here's the third Disney adaptation of the same story. How about Disney's A Christmas Carol, directed by Robert Zemeckis and starring Jim Carrey. Now, I already have this on DVD, but here's the thing. There's a nice feature on here that it's only on the Blu-ray. You cannot get this on DVD, this feature. It's called Behind the Carol. And it uses the seamless branching feature of Blu-ray. And it has the ability to show you the full movie. Plus, there's a picture-in-picture feature down at the bottom that has the actual actors in the performance capture suits actually acting out the movie. And it's really interesting to see. And plus, it has running commentary with Robert Zemeckis. And he himself is going back and forth between what the finished product and the mocap. And he talks about how they do some of the things. It's really interesting to see about how they do the audio. A lot of people, he said, a lot of people think that it's done like a cartoon. We just have the actors perform their stuff, and then the actor later on goes into a recording studio and dumps all their lines. Well, he said, no, we don't. We actually record on set, because the actor may do the line better, or actually because the actor is going to do the line naturally on set, as opposed to being in a recording studio in front of a microphone. But yeah, Disney's Christmas Carol. And of course, it does have the DVD copy in it as well. Yeah, there we go. So I eventually will be trading that old DVD copy pretty soon. Hopefully I have some money and Best Buy has Upgrade and Save. But yeah, here's the next one. Now last year, I was able to purchase Band of Brothers for $36. Well, Best Buy through HBO had another HBO title sale. 50% off again. So for $35, yes, they came down a buck. For $35, I was able to purchase The Pacific, which is kind of the well, it's not a follow-up, but basically it's the Band of Brothers treatment to the U.S. Marine Corps. Yeah, so and it also takes place during World War II. Yeah, it's about the Pacific Theater in World War II, and it follows them from Okinawa, Guadalcanal, and the whole the Marines in the Pacific, in the South Pacific, and fighting the Japanese. Now, what I'll say about Band of Brothers and the Pacific, I haven't finished watching the Pacific. I'm on the 6th episode. I'm over halfway there. Already, I think Band of Brothers is better. I think it's a better told miniseries. Not saying that the Pacific is bad, but I like Band of Brothers better. Even a man who is very faithful to the Marine Corps. He's retired, but he's very, very faithful to the Marine Corps. He goes to our church, and he has both sets on DVD. And he said that he even liked Band of Brothers better than the Pacific. He said that was the shameful thing, that the Army got better treatment than what the Marine Corps did. And I guess what I'm trying to figure out, there's just something about the Pacific that's not clicking with me. That Band of Brothers automatically just clicked. And I'm thinking Band of Brothers is probably more like the title. It's a band of brothers. That these guys, you could relate to them. And these were your guys who you wanted to go to battle with. You trust them with your lives. They were your brothers. While the Pacific, it's the Marine Corps. It's every man for himself. There is some camaraderie and brotherhood in it, but it's like, it's done in a way like, yeah, we know all this. It's kind of almost kind of tongue in cheek. And another thing that the Pacific goes into is more of the psyche, I guess, because there is a couple of scenes where you see a man, well, at least in one scene, you see this man he takes off all of his clothes. He strips down completely naked and puts a pistol in his mouth. And there's another scene where one of the main characters, he develops this mental and physical problem that he refuses to get out of bed, and they're thinking, well, is there something wrong with his nerves? But then they pull the sheets back. He's bedwetting. He's peeing the bed. And so he gets sent to this mental institution for a little while. And I guess that's what's going on in the Pacific, where it does talk a little bit more about that. And right now I'm at an episode where there's a character who's at the beginning of the series. He can't go because his father's a physician, and he knows that he really wants to go. He's really psyched. He's willing to serve his country, but because his father is a physician, not only that, father's saying, I don't want you to go to war. I don't want you doing all this stuff. That type of thing. But also, the guy has a physical problem. He has a heart murmur, and that prohibits him from going. But as soon as it clears up, he goes and ships out. And right now I'm at a point in the series where they're kind of teasing him about reading the Bible. He's he's a believer in Christ. And I think don't tell me what happens, but I think eventually he's going to start to question his faith. It just seems like, it's leading up to that because they're teasing him about it, and all the other guys are saying, why are you even into that, But anyway, that's, I thought that was a good deal, that if it's still going on, do take part in it, because they have other TV shows that they have 50% off. Obviously, I'm not a big fan of True Blood, but they've got that on sale, 50% off. Of course, Band of Brothers as well, and the Pacific. They also had some other TV shows that were not HBO, 50% off. Like, my brother was kind of ticked off. He said, I wish he would have waited because he purchased the first season of Person of Interest, and they had that for $27 while he paid $60. So I guess that's his misfortune, but yeah, that's my haul. Just 4 titles there. Like I said, I do still plan on getting the Avengers at some point in time, but here's the problem. This is my rant about Disney. I'm going to go on this. I probably did it last time, but my rant about Disney is, why in the world does everything that comes out of Disney, brand new disc, have to be $30? Brand new movie has to be $29.99. Even if the movie completely sucked, price $29.99. And what makes their product so special that they've got to price it that high? Well, the Christmas Carol was only $20, so I'm not really complaining. This was $20 at Best Buy, and it's $20 everywhere else I've seen it. But eventually this one is not going to go. It's going to go back into the vault, but it's going to come right back out for every Christmas time. Whoops, sorry. What's the difference between this, which is a regular two disc case, While here's Warner Brothers. This was actually my brother got this one on sale. But here's Warner Brothers. They priced it at $25, but has a nifty slipcover and 3 discs. I mean, what's really so special about Disney that they've got to price everything so doggone high? I don't understand it. I think they were always like that. I mean, even if you go to when there was just DVD, you went to the Disney section, it was like every title on there that had been out for over a year was $19.99. It's like, what the heck? But anyway, that's my haul for Christmas. But like I said, I do plan to get the Avengers soon. So from me to you, Merry Christmas and see you later.